Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Carl with Capital Recovery. Today, we're going to be talking about alcohol. It's Alcohol Awareness Month.
Absolutely.
In the color purple, everybody should be wearing a color purple.
Yes.
We're talking about. Very important, when it's Alcohol Awareness Month, that, we're very aware of our surroundings, the people we hang out with, and what we do consume. And let's see here. Alcohol use disorder we're going to be talking about today. And it's an overview.
Go to the pencil. Where you in the title? Where the title?
It was.
When you.
There we go. Alcohol use disorder. And this is an overview of the symptoms, when to see a doctor, the causes, the risk factors. It's an overview of the big picture of the alcohol use disorder. So I'll start it off. Alcohol use disorder is a pattern of alcohol use that involves problems controlling your drinking, being preoccupied with alcohol, or continue to use alcohol even when it causes problems. This disorder also involves having to drink more to get the same effect of having withdrawal symptoms. When you are rapidly decrease or stop drinking, alcohol use disorder includes a level of drinking that's sometimes called alcoholism. Unhealthy alcoholism includes any alcohol used that puts your health or safety at risk or causes other alcohol-related problems. This also includes binge drinking, a pattern of drinking, where a male has 5 or more drinks within 2 hours, or a female has at least 4 drinks within 2 hours. Binge drinking causes significant health and safety risk. If your pattern of drinking results in repeated significant distress and problems functioning in your daily life, you're likely to have alcohol use disorder. It can range from mild to severe. However, even a mild disorder can escalate and lead to serious problems, so early treatment is important. So I got something called Capital Recovery. We have a few
Yes.
there.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Craig. I'm also a recovery coach here at Capital Recovery Center. And the next person,
I'm Ashley.
Ashley.
I'm a recovering addict.
Okay.
Welcome, Ashley.
Thank
Welcome. Glad to have you. And so, where we at, Carl?
And the next part is the symptoms.
Okay.
Very, very important. Alcohol use disorder can be mild, moderate, or severe based on a number of symptoms you experience. Signs and symptoms may include: 1, being unable to limit your amount of alcohol you drink. 2, wanting to cut down or how much you drink or making unsuccessful attempts to do so. 3, spending a lot of time drinking, getting alcohol, or recovering from alcohol use. 4, feeling a strong craving or urge to drink alcohol. 5, failing to fulfill major obligations at work, school, or home due to repeated alcohol use. Continue to drink alcohol even though you know it's causing physical, social, work, or relationship problems. Giving up on reducing social and work activities and hobbies to use alcohol. Using alcohol in a situation where it's not safe, such as when driving or swimming. Yeah, don't drink or drive, and don't swim and drink. Developing a tolerance to alcohol, so you need more to feel effect of you have reduced effect from the same amount. Experience withdrawal symptoms such as nausea, sweating, and shaking when you don't drink or drinking to avoid these symptoms. Alcohol use disorders can include periods of being drunk, alcohol intoxication, and symptoms of withdrawal. So these are some of the symptoms we're talking about. And if you do have some of these symptoms, usually you got to seek help, some professional help. It's very good information here because, sometimes we don't think that we're alcoholics or drug addicts until, you look at some things. It's like, yeah, you can check off the list. Yeah, I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with this symptom. I'm dealing with this symptom, and really analyze if we're alcoholics or not. That's only up to you, really. You know, it comes down to it. Yeah, you want to read?
All right. Ashley, recovering addict.
Hey, Ashley.
Alcohol intoxication. Results as the amount of alcohol in your bloodstream increases. The higher a blood alcohol concentration is, the more likely you are to have speech problems with attention or memory, and poor coordination. You can also have periods called blackouts, where you don't remember events. Very high blood alcohol levels can lead to a coma, permanent brain damage, or even death. Alcohol withdrawals can occur with alcohol use has been heavy or prolonged, and is then stopped or greatly reduced. It can occur within several hours to 4 to 5 days later. Signs and symptoms include sweating, rapid heartbeat, hand tremors, problems sleeping, nausea, vomiting, hallucinations, restlessness, agitation, anxiety, and occasionally seizures. Some symptoms can be severe enough to impair your ability to function at work or in social situations.
Yes. Yeah, really, sometimes some of these articles I've been reading, you know, I don't see for me personally, recently I haven't seen like the alcohol withdrawal is very serious. Like it can cause death. Like the, alcohol and benzos can cause death as if you don't have proper treatment. And very important. Seizures is that's why you want to go to detox. You want to be properly medicated. You want to do it because when we try to white knuckle it and try to do it on our own, usually it doesn't end up too good.
When I was in detox, I seen a lot of people, you know, like even afterwards, still got the shakes.
Yeah.
Everything, like it's really bad. Like
It
you might
takes
think
time.
alcohol is not a drug, but it really does. It takes a lot out of you, and it's a lot of people that have severe shakes after even 5 or 10 days after detoxing.
Yeah, I agree with you because me and Carl did a group a couple of days ago, and it was talking about the physiological effects of alcohol abuse and the psychological effects of alcohol abuse. So, yes, it is very a disease drug that need to be treated with the proper supervised people, because if you try to do it the old school way, you may cause a lot of damage, or who knows, death may occur if somebody's not watching you in the process.
It was actually like you get brain damage where your brain does not work anymore. Like it's called, was it mesh brain or
I heard of it.
yeah,
Yes.
like, and there's you just can't focus. You don't talk the same. Your brain does not work the same.
And sometimes you don't come out of that.
No,
you know,
you don't.
we think that we're just social drinking or having fun, drugs and alcohol, but in the long run, not just causing harm to yourself, but like it talks about blackouts and stuff like that. People end up killing people driving or going blackouts and do some things that they normally wouldn't do, and come 2 days later or wherever the case may be, and like you're in deep stuff, you know, in some deep stuff.
Absolutely. So I believe today this month is Alcohol Awareness
Yes.
Month.
Okay.
So we're basically going to be talking a lot.
Yep, a lot of our meetings are going to be based on alcohol use.
Yeah. So if you ever tune in, you're going to hear, especially this month, about the click on the comments up there. All right, Manuel, let's see what Manuel says. Manuel said, hello, this is Manuel. I'm doing this virtually because I'm in college class as well right now. I will come and get my paper signed. All right, Manuel, continue the good work, man. Thanks for logging in.
Yeah, thanks for showing up, Manuel.
Yeah. So click off that. Go back to comments.
Where is it?
Comments.
Just click on.
Oh, okay, there we go. I'm new to this stuff. Yeah.
Bam. There you go.
There we go.
All right. So the next topic we're going to talk about, I believe, is
What is considered one drink?
what is considered one drink. The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism defines one standard drink as any one of these. First, it says 12 ounces, which is 355 milliliters. A regular beer, about 5% alcohol, 8 to 9 ounces. A malt liquor, about 7% alcohol, 5 ounces of wine, about 12% of alcohol, 1.5 ounces of hard liquor or distilled spirits, right? It's about 40% alcohol, all right? And so this is all based upon one drink. So these are some high percentage. And so there is a lot of alcohol that one can consume through one drink. If you want me to, I can read the next one.
Yes, please.
So the next one talks about when to see a doctor. If you feel that you sometimes drink too much alcohol or your drinking is causing problems, or if your family is concerned about your drinking, talk with your health care provider. Other ways to get help include talking with a mental health professional or seeking help from a support group such as Alcoholics Anonymous or a similar type of self-help group such as all recovery meetings in which we're having right now.
Yes.
This is a self-help group. So the article goes on to say, because denial is common, you may feel like you don't have a problem with drinking. You might not recognize how much you drink or how many problems in your life are related to alcohol use. Listen to relatives, friends, or co-workers when they ask you to examine your drinking habits or to seek help. Consider talking with someone who has had a problem with drinking but has stopped. And so that is a great point when they say speak to someone who has lived experience. I am keeping focus on myself. I am someone who have lived experience when it comes to alcohol. That wasn't really my main thing, but I tried it. I drank, but that wasn't really my main thing. But I could share some of my experience with people. I remember one time. Now I'm a little older than both of you. Well, I'm much older than both of y'all in the group. And so I remember I was living in Newark. I'm gonna share this story. I was living in Newark, and they had a snowstorm. The snow was so high, the bus was running slow. And so I went in the liquor store and got me a half a pint of 2020. Now this, like I said, I'm older than y'all.
I know what it is.
So, and I was drinking it going up the hill to get to my house. And before I got to my house, I was stacked. I said, wow, this stuff is strong. You know? So I knew like early on that I couldn't really handle alcohol because it hits me so fast.
Yeah.
Like some other people, I guess their tolerance has built up, whereas, it may not affect them as quick, as it affected me. So I don't know if you guys have any stories of.
Well, I had experience with a person actually drinking. It was just recently. He drank maybe like 6 shots of 100 proof, Captain Morgan, and he pretty much just lost it on me. Was no communication with him. Got so angry because I wanted to get away from him that he actually bit me. He was so drunk that he didn't want me to leave him, that he bit me. And that's I've been dealing with that for a while. Him just drinking. And as soon as he drank, he's a whole different person.
Yeah.
Before he drank, I ain't a thief. But as soon as he drank, I'm a thief. So I know what dealing with an alcoholic is.
Yeah.
And he doesn't actually believe, only believes he has a habit or alcohol problem when he's not drunk. But once he's drinking, that's over.
Yeah.
So just beware, ladies, if they drink too much, step away from them.
Yeah. And that's why they call it a mind altering substance.
Yes.
Like she just said.
Yep.
When you don't have the drink, it's cool. You don't make any accusations, you don't accuse her or anything. So when you drink that, what was it?
100 proof Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan,
Yeah.
you become a different
A
captain,
monster, pretty much.
right?
Well, it's a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
So the drugs and alcohol, you're not made to consume a lot of it and the amounts that you do consume. So for me anyway, like I never said I had a problem drinking, but when I had drank, it was a problem.
Yeah.
like for me, I don't stop. Like, even from a young age, I did not, people I was hanging around with, some family members, like I would drink and stuff like that. I didn't stop. And like, you ain't supposed to consume 100 proofs and alcohol. Like you said, totally different person.
Mm-hmm.
I'll share a little story. I mean, this is somebody else's story, but I'm not using anonymity and stuff like that. It's sad. So it's a realize too, like, as being young, he was drinking, right? He drove and ended up killing a preacher. So like it's you gotta be very mindful of what you do, and that took I didn't think he was probably planning on killing somebody and stuff like that. So you gotta be very careful what how much you consume, because everybody's not alcoholics. That's you decide. People can drink and put it down and be sociable, whatever, and that's it. But if you're an alcoholic, if it's a problem, and it talks about get help, get professional help.
Absolutely. So you just talked about some of the symptoms when a person is drinking and they family and friends notice that it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
It could be from their work habits, change, school, et cetera, relationship problems, like Ashley just mentioned, And so alcohol has a bad effect on people who continually use it, and when it becomes, instead of a leisure activity, it becomes
Something they have to do every day.
something they have to do every day. They have to rely upon it to get to be socially functional. All right, you want to move on to the next?
Causes.
If your loved one needs help.
Okay, if your loved one needs help, many people with alcohol use disorders hesitate to get treatment because they don't recognize that they have a problem. An intervention from loved ones can help some people recognize and accept that they have needed professional help. If you're concerned about someone who drinks too much, ask a professional experienced in alcohol treatment for advice on how to approach that person. Causes: genetic, psychological, social, and environmental factors can impact how drinking alcohol affects your body and behavior. Theories suggest that for certain people, drinking has a different and stronger impact that can lead to alcohol use disorder. Over time, drinking too much alcohol may change a normal function of the areas of your brain to associate that the experience of pleasure, judgment, and ability to exercise control over your behaviors. This may result in craving alcohol to try to restore good feelings or reducing negative ones.
So those are the causes from alcohol disorders. And so people be aware, because there are, like she read, there's genetic, psychological, social, and environmental factors that can affect one's behavior. And that's why some people drink,
Mhm.
you know?
Trauma. You know, that's and sometimes as a kid, some of your family members or friends, they think it's like a way of life. You know, oh, it's okay to do this. Then, you
Yeah.
know, it's not.
It's not, because I've been drinking for a long time. Like, it was okay. My dad even bought me, it was like, what, like maybe like 15, 16. He bought me a Smirnoff and let me like drink and stuff like that. But he was alcoholic,
Yeah.
you know. He became, he got clean maybe like 2 or 3 years before he died. But after that, it was like his body, like his health went down from there. And he actually ended up having an aneurysm
Mm.
in the hospital and dying. Like it does, it tears your body apart.
Tears you down.
After a long time, it's a slow tear apart, but it does. And he was working alcoholic for years, and end up, I think, like one time in a car accident, and then that's where he realized that he had a problem, and he started going to AA, and it was nice seeing my dad sober. But I think he was more like a dry sober. He really didn't go to the meetings, but he stopped though. He was drinking O'Doul's though. He liked the taste, I guess. But yeah, he definitely became a better person. The relationship definitely got better between me and him. It's easier to talk to him. I wonder one time my dad was drunk and it was like a holiday. And he was like so drunk, he told me sit my ass down. I was just hurt. Like I never been, like as a kid, like what the heck? But he was lit up. I remember he was lit up. His eyes was red, and I remember
You
that.
can tell.
Drunk.
You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell when somebody has a problem,
Mhm.
like from a different point of view. Just like you can just tell. And if you have a loved one out there, please try to help them. It's talking about intervention and stuff, the ways to approach people, and because as recovery coach, we're here to help. We're only recovery coaches, like Craig always says. And there's AA, there's a lot of support groups out there. You come down to the center and talk about it. Sometimes we need other outside help, like get a healthy medium, a middle person to correlate some things.
But I want to thank Ashley for not only opening up but also sharing.
Yeah.
Because I always was taught when I first started, when I went into therapeutic community, it says if we hold on to it,
Darkest secrets make you sick.
make you sick.
Mhm.
And so for us to give it away freely, that's how we keep our sobriety, by sharing and giving other people hope.
Yep.
Just by our stories, because a lot of us may have similarities. We might not be identical, but we may have similarities in our stories because we have lived experience. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Ashley.
No problem.
Where we at?
Risk factor.
Risk factors.
Okay.
I'll read a little bit. Risk factors. Alcohol use may begin in the teens, but alcohol use disorder occurs more frequently in the 20s and 30s. Though it can start as any age, risk factors for alcohol use disorder include, the next page. Let's see here. Drinking over time, drinking too much on a regular basis for an extended period of binge drinking on a regular basis can lead to alcohol-related problems of, let's see this here, alcohol use disorder. At the early age, people who begin drinking, especially binge drinking at an early age, are a higher risk for alcohol use disorder. Another one, family history. The risk of alcohol use disorder is higher for people who have a parent or others close relative who has problems with alcohol. This may be influenced by genetic factors. Another one, depression and other mental health problems. A common for the people with a mental health disorder such as anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, or bipolar disorder to have problems with alcohol or other substance. Mental illness, there's due diagnosis. Mental illness goes with addiction. History of trauma. People with a history of emotional trauma or other trauma are at increased risk of alcohol use disorder. having, what is that? You know that word?
Bariatric surgery.
Bariatric surgery. Some research studies indicate that having bariatric surgery may
Bariatric.
bariatric surgery may increase the risk of developing alcohol use disorder or relapsing after recovering from alcohol use disorder. And social and cultural factors. Having friends or a close partner who drinks regularly could increase or risk or alcohol use disorder. The glamorous way of that drinking is sometimes portrayed in the media also may send a message that it's okay to drink too much. For young people, the influence of parents, peers, and others, role models, can impact risk.
All right.
Ooh.
So we're getting close to that time. So you want to read? I can read the complication aspect.
Yep, and then we'll wrap it up with that.
Okay,
That's our
you tell me because we have things to do. So
Yeah.
So complications. Alcohol depresses your central nervous system. In some people, the initial reaction can feel like an increase in energy, but as you continue to drink, you become drowsy and have less control over your actions. Too much alcohol affects your speech, muscle coordination, and vital centers of your brain. A heavy drinking binge may even cause a life-threatening coma or death. This is a particular concern when you are taking certain medications that also depress the brain's function.
Like Xannies.
Xannies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why all, a lot of doctors are on the medication that's prescribed over the counter. They let you know, do not take this medication with alcohol while you're drinking because it can have bad effects.
A lot of
Fail.
people OD off of Xannies and alcohol. It's very hard for people to die off that.
because it's two depressants, like two downers, like
Alcohol, dope.
Yep.
Not good.
Well, when you mix things, it's very lethal.
Yeah.
Just by itself, certain things, just alcohol and certain medications is lethal, and especially when you consume multiple, or in large amounts, it's fatal. And it can, so talking about if it ain't causing death, it can cause comas. She talks about brain aneurysms, all that kind of
Seizures.
stuff. That's very prevalent. Seizures when people come off alcohol, man. That's why you always see medical help, professional help.
Especially Xannies, like people they might try to get off the Xannies themselves and they've been in a seizure so fast, like grand mal seizures, just trying to get off the Xannies. And a lot of times, some people they might not even take you because how much Xannies you take it, how much of a risk it is for you to be in a seizure. I've heard someone in a seizure. I was detoxing. I really didn't see her, but it was serious. Like that's something serious. Her face got scratched up and everything.
And sometimes with that, like from my past experience, like having some people too intoxicated, they were to go to like detox and stuff like that. They have to go to the hospital to get stabilized even before they go to the next step. So it's like when you're really bad off,
trying to get that last run. It's not really good.
Yeah, because as we just read, it also messes with your brain. So for most people who are in the healthcare field, once they're able to stabilize you from the alcohol detoxification, then they'll be able to diagnose you to see whether or not you have a mental illness.
Yes.
Very because a lot of times people may not have a severe mental illness. It can be mild, it can be major. However, in order for them to make that determination, you have to be sober.
Very important.
Very important.
They say like drug induced. Is it drug induced or is there something really going on?
Yeah, that's when they wait till you go to detox. At least the whole time they won't give you a medication that you can right away until you get done detoxing.
Yep.
Absolutely. And so that
wraps it up for today. And it's Alcohol Awareness Month. So if you get a chance, Wear purple.
Wear purple. Purple
Okay.
is the color all this month, from
Yep.
the first, April 1st, all the way to April 30th. So tell a friend, whenever you get a chance, I haven't worn my purple.
Yeah, I gotta
That's
get
a
some. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
buy
have to
some.
buy
I got some.
Lakers or something.
Yeah, so even if you got your Lakers purple and gold, put that on. But remember, this is the month of alcohol awareness. A lot of people has really transitioned from alcohol disorder, abuse, alcoholism. People still suffering and sick, and so we want to get the word out.
Yep. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you, Ashley.
And thank you,
Appreciate
Nate.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
I think maybe type something else.
Yeah. Hit the bang. All right. I'm still here. I appreciate it. All
Thank
right.
you, guys.
All right. Until the next time.
Until next time.
Take care.
See ya.